Well, back to Fog Entertainment, and it's time to see what you guys thought about the best Samdino president. Well, back to the channel. We've got over 1,000 votes. Before we get into your thoughts, we have to get into my thoughts. And I think the best president of Samdino was Les Packer. The guy was president for like 2 decades at least, right? And he always had a level head. He was funny, and he always came to the right decisions for me. Sadly, he got cancer, and then he did make an idiotic decision if it was him to appoint Happy, but we'll get into it. So let's see, guys. We'll start with the worst option and work our way up. So getting a whopping 4% of the vote, we have got Doc. Doc, for me, wasn't necessarily the worst president. I think the worst president is Isaac for me, right? Doc, on the other hand, didn't really want this war. He said Santa Padre and the Mayans, that'll iron itself. It will be able to take up that territory relatively soon. But no, Terry's like Montez, and then Terry's like, no, they killed a brother. Doc didn't want any of this war, and you know what? He knew it was coming, and he went out a jobber, I'll accept, right? And I don't know if he was at the table, if he was privy when Sam Bernardino just gave Happy the top spot. And I don't know if he was privy, right? I'm going to assume he was, because there was a conversation in season 4 about the fact he was like, I Happy's way back to be with his girl or something. He's got trouble with a girl. He can't be here. What is this? Raven TNA 2005. If you know, you know. If you don't know, then what am I talking about? Getting a whopping 9% of the vote, though, was Isaac Packer. Packer, right? See, as ruthless as he was, he was quite pish at the same time, right? Season 4, episode 10, right? Wipes out Manny and a few other Mayans, sends Eterio back. First couple of episodes of season 5, he wipes out a few charters, so he's doing good. He's recruited Samdino back up to reasonable strength. And then after that, what's he doing? Like, honestly, loses a fight one-on-one, Travis against Easy, attacks the Broken Saints. Alright, he stops the pipeline, then wipes out half his crew trying to get Felipe while trying to get Angel, and then they get wiped out at the end. Like, there was just the guy had no strategy whatsoever. He was just a meth head in charge of the club. For me, easily the worst president. Looking back, they could have did his character so much better in that final season, but they didn't. And we have to live with it. In second place, though, we have got Happy. Again, Happy, we don't really know much about his reign, apart from he was acting Prez throughout season 3 of Mayans. He showed up, told them that, here, next time you run through Bordeaux, you hit me on the burner, big man. And then they didn't hit him on the burner. And yeah, I mean, I guess he didn't have any members killed on his watch, and he didn't exactly get involved in the war. But then he quickly went back to charming. So for me, pretty irrelevant reign. But Les Packer, guys, with a whopping 66% of the vote. He got 2/3 of your vote. Yeah, this guy is the best for me, as I explained at the start. And I totally agree by why you guys went with that. But we are going to go in to your comments, and we're going to go start from news first. There's 25, there's a lot to get through. Let's dive into it. Miguel Mayica says, has to be Les Packer. He was president of Samdino for 2 decades plus. It's a valid reason, guys, can't dispute that. James Toner says, Les Packer was cool. Shame Robert Patrick never came back. He should have told Isaac to end his and Easy's SOA Mayan war. It would have been great to see Les Packer come back in season 5. Sadly, he just got announced that he died, and that was pretty much it for him, which is really disappointing. There is no two ways about it. I would have liked to see him absolutely. Kate Tex Connect says, Calitex Connect. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that. Doc getting no love. Yeah, Doc. For me, I don't see how anyone can think Isaac's a better president than Doc. I can't. Because, well, maybe. I mean, I guess Doc executed the Mayan Oakland attack, and then his whole fucking clubhouse get wiped out. So maybe I can begin to see that actually a wee bit more. The reply, McKay says, "Wait, which one is Doc?" Season 4 president, mate. Acid says, "I vote for the Irish dude." None of them were Irish. Got a bit of a problem there, big man. Typically, Johnny5114 says, I think Doc was pretty level-headed, and his prophecy to Terry turned out true with how the war would turn out. Yeah, you're right. Like he said, it would end bloody and it wouldn't be good for the club. And exactly, that's what happened. Dwayne says, y'all should do reactions to Banshee. It's so good. And then says he says facts. Now I think I've seen a few clips of Banshee. I think it's Banshee like on TikTok. Is I would say Thomas Patrick Egan, is he in the show? What's the actor called? Joseph Sakura or whatever. I think he's in it. I've seen a few clips like in a mechanic shop or whatever. If that's it, it looks alright. We'll probably. I've never seen it. We've both never seen it, and that would be intriguing because like I've already seen Sopranos. We're currently reviewing that. Pretty much everything we're reviewing right now, we've both already seen. Apart from like From, but of course that's in between season 2 and 3, and it kind of went off the boil From, but we'll maybe put Banshee up for a vote. So yes, Dwayne. Moving on. BD Musician 6485 says, wait, Happy was praise of Samdino. Yes, he was praise of Samdino. He literally was president more or less off screen. It was an Elgin James special. We know how much Elgin James loves off screen, and it's exactly what happened, guys. He was off screen for the majority of time. Let's make no mistake about it. Let's see here though. Glenn Mayerta says acting president in season 3. Yep. And Caitlin Connect says for like 5 minutes. It's funny. Yeah, he literally was president for like 5 minutes, but yet he's like easily second here in this photo. I think it just goes to show you what how much of a shit job Doc and Isaac did for people to actually think that, well, Happy warrants that spot more than you guys. We have got Miwish. My hero, he says, Jax Teller, baby. Next president of Sam Dino. Aye, Jax Teller probably would be a better president than most of them. What's going on? Brian Devenso 279 says, I always wondered, did San Bernardino not have a VP? Why was the sergeant of Sam Crow sent there to run it? Felt like that should have fell on a member of that charter. Yeah, we've talked about this in great length before, but like, why was Happy like actually? Like, I think it would maybe make sense, right, during this war, if Sam Crow went, right, this war's getting out of control. We need one of our guys down there to keep an eye on San Bernardino, and that's why. But in season 3, like the tensions were right. They were a wee bit, hairy, I guess you could say. But like the fact that Montez and Happy showed up at the Santa Padre clubhouse and talked to them and said, here, next time give us a phone call. They're obviously not like, here, kill on point sort of thing. So for me, it is a bit of a mess. And San Bernardino, I mean, I'm going to assume that that had to have happened. Like there was no VP, or maybe there was. Sam Heaton says, yes, you're right. Normally it would fall on the VP if the president was incapacitated in some way. However, we've seen Terry San Bernardino VP as a character in his blunders, blah, 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 which leads me to believe that he might not be suited. No, I don't think he would be for the president's responsibility. So that would make sense that Samdino would want a loyal and veteran member like Happy to lead them until the president is back, or Les Packer recommend that Happy to Samdino take his place while he was undergoing chemotherapy. Obviously, they would have to vote in either scenario, but that's how I understand it. Typically, Johnny says, I think it's Chib, so I have more control over SoCal since it was around the time there was so much tension with Santa Padre and the Suns. Sean Barry says, Happy was not a president. I'm sorry to burst your bubble, big man. He was. We never actually seen president flash on him, but he was acting president. We know that for a fact, so take it with a pinch of salt if you really, really want to. Phoenix says, just let it go, boys. It's over. I'm sorry, it's never over. Brian Defense says, for real. Laughing emojis. Dwayne says, nah, they squeezing all the juice from this one. See the fucking juice. There's as much juice in this can of Iron Brew, right? It's getting squeezed out. I mean, that's a 330 milliliter can. The Mayans, it never stops, damn it. It never stops. Just like the pedo stash, it never stops coming. We'll never stop talking about the Mayans. Elgin James gave us so much off-screen content. There's so much to talk about it on your screen. And David Gomez says, I wonder someday in the next spin-off in the first 9 SOA prequel, will we see Les Packer CGI his face and character appearance Terminator 2 played by Robert Patrick? Imagine young Les Packer, a random MC Club and member, later patched over by Sam Crow, wearing Sam Crow cut until later John Teller sent him to start a Samdino charter, hopefully in the prequel. It will explain why John Teller and the rest of Redwood members wanted a Samdino chapter charter, why it's so important to him and the rest of the first 9 founder members, and hopefully we'll explain it. Yeah, I'd like to see that. It would be great to see like what do you call that? the age, see, not age. What do you call it when they put like someone make them younger? I can't remember what they call it. But he's got 4 replies to this. Eddie Kane says that'd be awesome. David Gomez says hell yeah, well. Vegan for Life says can't be too much of a reason for that charge to exist considering it just ended though. He means prequel though. David Gomez says, yeah, I know Samdino's gone. Every Sam Crow Samdino member is dead on the Mayan show, probably almost extinct. But Sam Crow Samdino, it might appear on the prequel, starting a chapter on the first 9 SOA and SOA versus Mayan, first war in the 80s and 90s, last John Teller death in the 90s. I guess that's about it. Yeah, he's nearly it. That's what I think. I think that would be good to see Les Packer like actually, talked about and shown. Maybe we don't know if he was a member of Sam Crow. I guess it's never really been into great detail, but I guess it would explain, the close relationship Packer did have with Sam Crow. Anyway, guys, I want you to leave your thoughts down below. You guys think Les Packer was the best Samdino president? We'll be back very soon with more content. We'll keep milking it. But until then, peace.